Still got levels. We still got the levels.
Let's rock and roll. Nope, not yet.
Not yet, either.
Rocking, rolling.
Yeah, just a little bit. It's not on the right angle for you there yet.
No, I'm thirsty as fuck.
So, take a drink. You're good. I think we are streaming live, though. So, hello.
I'm trying to log into Facebook, and I'm going to put the link out, too.
Go for it. Go for it. So,
Okay.
I think that because you wanted me to start it first. So, we're starting this live stream first.
Natural, you know.
We got to make sure we're good.
Serious here, man.
Right.
Like, let people see us in our element where we're not trying to.
All right, so we are live. Boom. Okay, cool.
We are live.
Yeah, this shit is.
Okay, I'm on. We're good.
You good now? You all right? You settled? You want to make any more? There you go.
That was awesome.
Who's ready to be back? Back again to die on this hill.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, I remember to record too. So
That, sir.
That's the most
we're
important thing, baby.
already rocking and rolling in a good way.
That's
we got
so
levels.
great.
We got everything. It's one of the few live streams I think we're starting without a hitch. So, yeah, welcome. My two co-hosts here, Mr. David Hastings,
Ayo.
Mr. Joey D.
What up, what up, what up, what up?
How's everybody doing?
I apparently have the giggles, man. I don't know.
You do have the giggles.
That's
great.
That's what
You
I
got the
to
giggles,
do.
but are you? How you feel? I guess we're gonna jump right into it. Let's knock it out. Celtics winning the championship. Are you feeling that good? Are you feeling championship good? I mean, you had a great weekend away. How? By the way, how was the wedding?
Wedding was good. Shout out to my friend Brandy. She looked gorgeous. Great meeting her now husband, Zach, and just overall great time. Me and Amanda had a blast. Shout out to Table 7. So anybody that was sitting there and at the table, we were the loudest, rowdiest. If you hear my voice is a little raspy right now. We were lunatics. I sat down at the table and introduced myself, introduced Amanda, and I was like, all right, guys, there's one rule. We have to be the loudest, most obnoxious table in the entire wedding. We need to be shouted out by the DJ. We need to own the dance floor. We basically want to make it so that the wedding party wants to come hang out with us. And we succeeded with flying colors. Only table to get a picture with the bride and the groom. Got several of them. Some are really funny. Others are a little nicer looking, wedding style type of picture. And then one where half the group's looking for a line that fell on the floor. So it was an experience. It was a good time. Never been to North Carolina, but definitely would go back.
There you go. Well, awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome. Glad you had a great
summed up
time.
I saw some dolphins. I saw wild horses. I went on a catamaran. It was a good time.
Wild horses.
Went to a beach. Hung out on a beach. Hung out.
Were the wild horses on the beach?
The wild horses, some were on a beach, like this formed beach that's right off of the coast of North Carolina.
Or is it more like a ranch you went to where these horses were?
No,
and
no,
they call them wild.
These horses are on the island all by this small island by themselves. There's about 37 of them, the guy said. So saw about 4.
Any of them look race quality?
I didn't get close to them. I was probably about as close to them as I am to.
If they're just wild horses, you could wrangle one. Trying to, listen, they pay. Kentucky Derby pays out a lot of money, my friend.
You've known me for over 10 years. What in your right mind thinks I'm a guy that can wrangle a horse?
Come on.
What about me has ever made you say, "Hey, you sir, you could wrangle a horse"? Come on. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
We all good over there, Joe?
Joey is just
I
in a
can't.
place right now.
Well, I'm not going to lie. Me and technology do not go hand in hand. I haven't done this stuff in a super long time, so I'm just trying to figure out things. Can't figure it out. So I'm going to give up. That's what I'm doing right now.
All right. Well, listen,
Give it up
monitor
on
that chat
technology.
for us. Listen, if anybody pops in there, throws anything in, feel free to chime in, throw it out there. I haven't put it. I got to post to the Facebook page, a couple other places. But by the way, it's a great time to mention though. If you are tuning in and you are joining us and you do want to hear about some sports and some entertainment and some off the rail shit we talk about, then who knows? Maybe you might want to subscribe, follow, like, share, do all those fun things.
Shout out to Mike.
Yeah.
Do all those things.
All of them. Because why not? It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And it kind of helps us out. So why not? I mean, we're about to cross 1,000 listeners, by the way. Bet you by the time we're doing the show this time next week, we are over 1,000 listeners to the podcast. So thank you to everybody who has listened and downloaded. Now we need more people to start subscribing, start following, start sharing, start liking, start doing all those fun things for us.
We need more tortilla slaps, man. That'll raise our
Listen, I bet you if we put that I won't ever do it. But Timmy is calling for it hard. You see Irish fighting Irish 57 in the chat in a little while. I'm telling you, he himself is fighting hard.
He's there currently.
Yeah, so I mean, he then he knows what I'm talking about, and I bet you he will chime in the chat and tell you the same because he knows that video is instant gold. That like you hear it, you see it like that.
Like that was a slap.
Like it was perfectly framed. Like
you
you
watched
could
it?
see, you could slow mo it down to the
yeah.
point where I think I took the picture where right when the tortilla gets to the cheek. Like it is that great a video. But I did promise you it would never see the light of day, and I've kept that promise. I've kept it.
That you
as
have.
much as Timmy has pressured me not to keep it.
Look,
I kind of don't.
But he wants to see it, and I actually haven't showed it to him.
Honestly,
It's a great video. It's super
maybe I'll
funny.
let you let it go the following Tuesday is a birthday gift from me to you.
Oh.
My birthday is the 30th, so we would do the show July 2nd. So
Yeah. All right. Well, it might be something to look forward to.
Maybe.
Something
I'm
to look
I'm
forward
curious to see how excited he is for that idea.
Timmy, let us know what you think about that idea in the chat. And Tim, if you're there too, throw a link up on the Facebook page as well if you could. It would really help me out right now because I'm struggling with doing that. And
That's what I'm struggling with.
yeah, so I mean, listen, technology and client, we are not my friends.
That's why I'm like.
God.
That's why it
Are
takes
you
me
guys
forever.
serious?
I'm like, what the
Like, you
hell?
can't share
Why
the
can't I
live
do
stream?
this?
No, I can. I can go in. I just haven't done it because I'm too busy talking and having fun.
I never use this
Too
laptop,
busy talking
bro. I
and
have
having
no idea
fun.
how to do it.
It's all
I'm
right.
so dumb.
It's all right.
We will survive.
After this show, I'm figuring it out. But
We
anyway,
will survive.
let's get back on
I
topic.
don't
Back
know
on
how
topic
long.
would be we got to talk real quick. I mean, there's not much to say. The Celtics, I think, had the easiest run to a finals ever. Had the easiest, one of the easier finals matchups, in my opinion, too. And no gentleman's sweep, was real nice. So they get it done. They win the chip. The only thing that to me was a little bit strange was Jaylen Brown winning the MVP because I thought it probably would have went to Tatum. But I can understand it because they're two superstars and it's not a big deal. But you could tell, I think, from the way that game was unfolding that I think Tatum wanted it.
I think
felt
Tatum
like
had it. I think Tatum should have had it. I believe he's like one of 5 guys ever in the NBA to
One of
lead.
6, yeah.
One of 6 to lead their whole team with points, rebounds, assists. Am I missing something?
It was points, rebounds, and assists.
Yeah.
Well, to lead his team in all 3 categories.
Correct.
So, Dave,
how
did you
doesn't
hear this stat,
How
by the
doesn't
way?
that get you the MVP?
Have you heard this stat?
That he was only the 6th player all
Yeah.
time? Yeah, that's crazy. And
So
honestly,
do you know who the other 5 are?
Bird, Olajuwon, Duncan, Shaq.
I don't think it was Shaq. It was
Gotta be
Bird.
LeBron, right?
Yeah, it was
LeBron's
LeBron.
always-
It was
gotta be
LeBron.
LeBron.
It was
Yeah,
LeBron.
Bird, Olajuwon, LeBron. Bird, LeBron.
Hakeem.
But we already said
I
Hakeem
said Olajuwon.
Olajuwon.
That's Hakeem.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't paying attention to the Elijah one.
Too much pregame warm up, guys. Too much pregame warm up.
But anyway, the one you were missing was
Duncan.
Duncan. Duncan was the one you were
There we
missing.
go.
We're still missing one more, right?
Yeah,
Isn't it
he
5?
was the 6th player all time.
It don't matter.
Tatum, Bird,
Oh,
Olajuwon.
Jokic.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
Nikola.
Yeah.
The Joker. I mean, honestly, but I mean, some of those guys are, I mean, you
I
think
said,
about
yeah, a
them,
lot
they're
of people
amazing.
sleep on Larry Bird, man. He was good. Like,
To be honest,
before
I
he
thought
started-
you could have put Magic probably. I thought his numbers probably would have been close to that with one of those Lakers championships. But
But
again,
then you think of who was on those teams.
yeah,
man,
and that's where it gets
he was
crazy.
rolling
He
deep.
he was. He
That's
was.
why him and the Celtics. So like that, I saw this the other day, and again, rest in peace to Jerry West. But somebody posted like that would be classic Lakers Celtics rivalry for Jerry West to pass away before he had to watch the Celtics win another championship. And like, it felt wrong at the time, but like it is kind of like poetic for him, right? Like he didn't have to watch that happen. I mean, the guy was in his 90s, like.
Yeah, but he was a great
NBA
guy, great GM, great player. I mean, the logo. So, but to stay out west, stay with the Lakers and the other team there with the Clippers. I mean, you got any thoughts on Jeff Van Gundy joining the Clippers? Because I got to be honest, why would he leave a nice cushy gig, doing I think this year he was actually with the Celtics in their front office. But before that, I mean, 16 years and doing play-by-play and other things for ESPN and whatever, and then now goes back to coaching. But coaching as an assistant, and to me, he's a guy that should be a head coach. He knows way too much about basketball. He's way too in tune. The only thing I can think of is he has that Olympic connection with coaching with Ty Lue before, and that's where that comes in. But I mean, I look at it, and I'm a big fan of Van Gundy. I love when he was with the Knicks. I got to be honest, I was a big Van Gundy fan. I mean,
just picture him holding on to Alonzo Mourning's leg.
Oh,
for dear life.
It was classic. It was great. It was what. It showed you he was all in. He was there too. Like he cared just as much as those players. Like, and I don't know. I digress. I think it's an interesting move for him to take the assistant job. What do you guys think?
Yeah, good for you, Van Gundy, coming back into the league. Maybe this is his way of getting his feet back wet in coaching, because I agree with you. I thought maybe he would be getting a head coaching position somewhere, but maybe he's been out of the game for a long time, so maybe this is his way getting back into things before he does take the next step. Maybe he goes, hey, if things go wrong with the Knicks, maybe he takes the Knicks job again or something, That'd be kind of funny. That'd be kind of great to see him back.
I don't know if I see the Knicks going too far with Tibbs or going away from Tibbs.
No, I agree. I was just trying to be a little
as an
funny.
example. Yeah, no, I got you. I mean, look, he's been out of the game for 20 years,
something like that.
And yes, he's been commentating, and you listen to him. He obviously knows the game of basketball, and has strong thoughts when it comes down to how things can be ran and executed on a basketball court. But I think him taking this position is kind of twofold. One, like, dip your feet back into the game, like, see if this is something you want to do again. And two, there is an adjustment that has to be made to today's game from when he coached. And even though he's commentated, it's not the same. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, he's not in these locker rooms with these guys. He might visit a practice, but he's not running a practice.
Oh, my God. And the athlete's so much different today than they were 20 years ago.
So there's so much to it that, like, I actually think this move is more like putting his toe back in the water than it actually is, like, a slight on his ability to be a head coach. That's what I would say.
And they all say Ty Lue's a good coach too. So maybe he's trying to pick his brain. The 3 points more relevant now. So maybe he likes his style of system. So he's looking to pick up things that he's lost in the last 20 years of not coaching. That's all. Or maybe he doesn't even want a head coach, and he's just really looking to help Ty Lue and the Clipper organization to actually win a championship. They're opening up a brand new arena this coming year, so maybe that's another strategic part of it too. Who knows?
I won't lie, though. I do think Van Gundy is a great coach. So, I mean, maybe this is, like I said, this is just putting the feet in the water, or, trying to get a big name and just paying him a bunch of money to not have to really do too much. I really don't know. But, outside of that, I mean, the Clippers, I don't know about them getting
a chip
very far. So, but speaking of their roommates, the Lakers, nobody seems to want to be the Lakers head coach. Like, why
would you want to be? They fired their head coach Frank Vogel after winning a championship.
Well, that, and I mean, the
right
team's
away,
run by LeBron, so you're coming there to be somebody's bitch boy. You're coming there to be somebody's errand boy, to be somebody else's mouthpiece, to be the guy who takes the heat off of LeBron, to be the guy who takes it. Who wants that job? There's very few guys that want a job like that. Aaron Boone's a guy who has a job like that. He takes all the brunt of everything because he's got to get it from Cashman coming down about this analytic crap, and then he's got to get it from everybody else about the analytic crap. So he gets it from every side, and it's just one of those jobs that it's, unless you're winning 100 games like the Yankees are, or winning championships like the Lakers are, like it's a really hard job, and you got to be a special kind of person to take it.
Absolutely.
So as much as JJ Redick might have been hosting a podcast with LeBron and things sound all willy-nilly and good there, it's not the same. And, like, you think about it, and you're like, well, wait a second. Being the coach of the Lakers, that sounds great. Phil Jackson, all these guys. Like, you think about the legacy. You think about
Pat Riley.
Mm-hmm. You think about the legacy that's there. But then all of a sudden you think, wait a second. I'm going to have no say in personnel. I'm going to have no say in how we play. what am I doing? Like, what am I? Because you can't. LeBron's at a place right now in his career where you can't coach him. He's not coachable. He is the coach. He's the on-court coach. They should almost make him a player coach. Just pay him a little bit more and make him the player coach.
Like the player GM.
Exactly. But if he's going to be the guy calling the shots, then you can't undercut the guy before he even takes the job. Mm-hmm. Like, you've already cut him at the knees the second he signs the contract. And it's hard for as prestigious as a role it is to want to be involved in that. Like, as much as you're like, oh my God, yeah, it sounds great. If you're Dan Hurley, you're hearing, man, I can make $12 million a year, which would only make him like the 6th highest coach in the NBA. But still, like, you can make $12 million a year coaching the Lakers. Or I could stay in Storrs, Connecticut. And he chooses Storrs, Connecticut, but why? Because he's already built a legacy there. He's built something there, and by going to the Lakers, he would only tarnish what he's already done. Because if it's not successful, if they can't keep LeBron, say out of nowhere the Detroit Pistons draft Bronny Jr., 5th overall this year in the NBA draft.
That ain't happening.
All of a sudden LeBron wants to go to, now you're all of a sudden your team is gutted, and what do you do now? Now you're left to pick up the pieces. There's so much that could go wrong with this Laker team that it's a toxic job to take right now, and I don't know who's out there to take it. Because Van Gundy was rumored about it. You hear JJ Redick rumored about it. It's going to end up being some assistant coach that we've never heard of that ends up taking this job. Because
he's going to get fired again after 1 year. Look at Darvin Ham. He's already back with the Bucks.
At least he has some head coaching experience now. Like, that's the only benefit. At least if you're a guy who has no head coaching experience and you take this job, like, yeah, you're the bitch
half
boy.
Half the job's done for you. You basically just
exactly, and at least you could put it on your resume: head coach, 1 season, L.A. Lakers.
Yeah.
Somebody down the road, even if it's as another assistant job, whatever, it's going to make him look more intriguing later on. So I can see it as a stepping stone for somebody. But right now, you're not going to get one of the biggest coaches in the country, college or NBA wise, to come to this Laker team. And I'd be hard pressed. I'm going to die on that hill. I don't think you guys can talk me off it.
I don't think I have a talking off at all with that. I mean, seriously, I think you kind of hit I think you really hit on every issue with the situation. I think you hit perfectly with how it basically is LeBron's team, and you're just a lame duck coach for the most part. And I think it's a situation that, like you said, just you're going to have to take some guy with no head coaching experience, such as a JJ Redick, right? And it doesn't seem like it's a huge chance. Like, it's leaning towards him, but it's not like, hey, like, if you got $1 million, like, throw it on JJ Redick, right? Like, so I really don't think there's anything more that can be added to what you said. I think at this point, I'd repeat you.
All right. Joe, you the same? Copacetic?
No, I'm copacetic with that, yeah.
So we're all on a hill together, baby.
We're on a hill.
Beers, I'd cheers them.
And I think we're going to all be on this hill too, but I got to just mention it quick before we get to the next topic. But I'm a little sad because to me, he's one of the best personalities on TV. He's always entertaining, even if I don't love everything he says.
Oh, we're back to Stan Van Gundy.
No.
No. We're talking about Charles Barkley.
Oh man, I thought he was. I was like, damn, bro. I'm like Stan taking an assistant coaching job. Shocking, but like, I'll miss him too.
No,
wow.
I'm saying, you know,
Was it Stan or Jeff? Which one took it?
Jeff took the job.
Yeah, Jeff took it.
Jeff took it.
I got super confused real quick.
Oh, my
Stan's
bad.
his brother. Yeah, I don't think I don't think he's got an NBA job.
Yeah,
right
no, I think.
But
no.
Charles Barkley has a job with TNT, and I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, but across all the sports, the pre and post game shows that go on, I think
and halftime,
the job that those guys do with Ernie, Kenny, Charles, and Shaq is unbelievable. Like, they're entertaining. They're fun. Yeah, like I said, even if I don't love everything they say, they at least entertain me. And Barkley's always been nothing but short of entertaining. He was one of my favorite players actually growing up as a kid. Ewing was my favorite, but like, I love the round rebound. I was a Barkley fan. I appreciated his game, and he's one of those players like a Dan Marino that was tremendous. Nobody realizes how good he was, but he never won, and that's just it. But to hear he's going to retire, now I get it that the NBA is moving away from TNT, going with NBC, I think next year and stuff. So
this coming NBA season, it will be the last year that they are on TNT.
And then that he'll be retiring at the end of that next year. So,
yeah, but watch out, man. I'm telling you right now, there are some streaming sites out there that 100% would pay lots of money to be able to broadcast NBA games and pay that entire crew.
But he swears he will not broadcast or do anything like that for another company. He says TNT is the only company that he wants to do it for. He said he had meetings. He said he's taken meetings.
No, but he doesn't want to work with those guys. That's what it is. He wants to work with that team of guys.
So if someone was to hire that team of guys, you think he would unretire and go with that team
100%.
of guys?
100%. I will die on that hill.
Even if it's a streaming site.
There is no denying when you see them online and the chemistry that they have. Those guys genuinely love working with each other. Like, they don't force what they do. They have a good time. Even Shaq and Chuck going back and forth with their jokes and whatever. Like, they genuinely love working with each other. And I don't think for a second that if they had an opportunity to work together for a different station that they would hesitate to do it. But that station has to buy NBA games as well. So does ESPN, ABC drop a banger amount of money?
But maybe NBC's got guys in mind already. Maybe they're I mean, who's doing aren't they doing the Olympic coverage? I could be wrong, but NBC is doing the Olympic coverage, right? I'm sure that whoever's doing something, you don't think that they're gonna, you know what I mean? And like, again, so say it's not that crew. Say they kick Ernie out, and now it's Tirico in there. Do you think I don't think he comes back for that.
I think the way he said it, I genuinely think it would have to be the whole team. Like, even one guy, like almost like a band, right? Like, we're like, it's either all of us or nothing, right? Like, I think that's the only way he would come back. So just to clarify that, like, I don't see him coming back like, Tirico's great, but I don't see him coming back to work with Tirico instead of Ernie. So I'll put it that way. The team has to be complete.
What do you think, Joey?
I don't really have an opinion.
Joey's
I'm not gonna lie.
Round, mound, and rebound.
No, man.
I love that nickname.
It is a good nickname. I got to be honest. It's one of the most underrated nicknames.
I don't really watch that much, so I don't really see the chemistry and this and that. I mean,
have you ever seen the clips of Chuck?
No,
and Shaq
I have. I actually
them wrestling.
I don't think Charles Barkley is as great as everybody says he is. I think he's kind of dumb.
That's what I want.
I think
Joey,
he's dumb.
come with the opinion. Then give it to us.
I think Charles Barkley is dumb. I don't care for his opinion. And yeah, good for you, bro. You guys have made a ton of money doing this, and they are entertaining at some points, but I think a lot of it's stupid. But that's me.
But
so
it's
good
meant
luck
to
with
be.
everything.
It's meant to be silly. I get that, and I get it's not your thing. Which I got to be honest.
I like Ernie. I like Shaq.
I want you to be honest like that all the time, Joey. Don't just say.
I don't really like Charles Barkley and Kenny.
And Kenny, I got to hear why not Kenny.
I just
what is it about?
I like
Kenny?
Shaq and Ernie. I don't like Kenny and Charles. That's just me.
Kenny, really?
With
the run to the
me.
screen, to show the plays and everything? Really?
Don't like
I can see not liking Chuck. I mean, I personally think I love Chuck, but like I can see not liking Chuck, right? I can see how he could rub people the wrong way. Kenny's pretty chill.
I want to play a round of golf with Chuck.
I'm good.
Like, I want to play a round of golf with Barkley
I
because...
just want to watch him swing the fuck.
Well, that's what I mean, is you see that swing and you know he's on par with whatever we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I feel like I'm
Now I
playing...
understand where you're
feel
going,
like
yes.
I feel like I'm playing with an equal. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like I'm playing with an NBA grade and just some Joe Schmo here. Some
playing
great...
with Jordan,
I feel like we're all kind of on a similar playing field. We both realize that this is not our sport, but we're out here to have some fun.
Yeah, like you're like playing with Michael
I mean?
Jordan, who apparently beat a PGA Tour member in like a one-on-one 18-hole tournament. Like
That's awesome.
Guy used to get in 36 holes before a playoff game. Like, yeah, hit the court. I hit the hit the links at like 7 a.m., 6:30 a.m. Get 18 to 36 holes in by 3, 4 o'clock. Come back, shower, change, get to the gym, start shooting around. Like. And he's still the best player on the court.
Built different.
That's absurd.
That's built different right there.
But anyway, that's completely off track. So to get this thing back on the rails,
so yeah,
I don't know where we want to go next because
I want to go right to the... well, go ahead. What do you want to say?
real quick, because I don't think we gave enough love to the current NBA champions and how dominant they were this year.
Hold on. By the way, the biggest stat I saw, before you go into the rest of them, the one stat that I want to give you guys... They had, as I saw this, and this one was, I reposted on Twitter before because I saw it and I was like, you got to be kidding me with that. But the stat is that the Celtics had more playoff wins than the Pistons or the Wizards had all year.
I did
really?
see that.
14 and 68 for the Pistons, 15 and 67 for
any NBA champion this year was going to have more.
But
wins.
well, yeah. But I mean, they were 16 and 3 overall in the playoffs. So I mean, in 4 rounds of the playoffs, they lost 3 games. They were as dominant, pretty much, as a team could be. But I mean, come on, they had a Jimmy Butler-less Miami Heat. They had a Halliburton-less
that's fine.
Pacers. They had a who's the other team they beat up on in the first round?
Jimmy Butler.
Miami.
Miami without Jimmy Butler.
The one I'm missing, Joey.
Yeah,
Come on, give it to me.
The second round. I can't remember the second round. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, them.
Yeah. If you pull, I can't remember. I don't know.
Oh my!
Orlando? Was it Orlando?
No, Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland. That's it.
Yeah, it was Cleveland without
Spider Mitchell.
Yeah.
All right. Cleveland without Spider Mitchell.
That's fine.
And then
the Mavs though with Luka and
but
Kyrie.
Luka's battling 3 injuries.
Right?
He had a rib injury, he had a leg injury, he wasn't a healthy Luka.
Ankle, knee, and the rib.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they still won. But anyway. So this Celtics team had 50 20-point leads this year. That's the most it's been. Oh, I'm sorry. Only the 2017 Warriors had more than that. I apologize. They were favored in 96 out of their 101 games this year. That's pretty freaking amazing. They're the 6th team ever to have 15 or more wins than the second most wins after a whole season. So like the team who finished second, they had 15 more wins then. It's only happened 6 other times in the NBA. This is the second best Celtics team ever on record with a 792 winning percentage this year. That's incredible.
The Celtics.
That's absolutely incredible with the amount.
Say that one more time.
This is the second best by record of a Celtics team that they've ever had, with a .792 winning percentage. The only other better Celtic team was the Celtic team that they say is like the best ever, like the 83 Celtics, I think it is. Something like that.
Oh, with McHale in his prime,
Bird, Parrish.
Yep.
Oh my God, when Parrish was in his prime, he was really good.
And then one other stat, they had more 50-point wins, 40-point wins, 30-point wins, and 25-point wins more than anybody has ever had before in the league. So I think we're kind of sleeping on this Celtics team.
I didn't. I called them from the start.
No,
but wait.
You did call it from the start. I'm just saying from a historical standpoint, we were all kind of like, oh, yeah, the Celtics won. I think they're a lot more dominant than we think. And this whole team's coming back for another season.
I think
I'm thinking a repeat.
I'm thinking it's a weak East because even the Milwaukee wasn't 100%. They had no Giannis. Like there wasn't like
you
this
got Damian
East,
Lillard now. They're not the same team.
This East though
I'm not worried
wasn't
about
this
Milwaukee.
East wasn't the same though.
Drew Holiday. If Drew Holiday stays on Boston,
You mean stayed on Milwaukee?
but also, while we're speaking of this thing, right? Also, big shout out to Al Horford.
Yeah, he's finally getting a ring
in the league, and he finally gets a ring. And Al Horford's never been a guy in
he's so
in
good.
the news negatively. He's been a consistent performer all his entire career. Came off of a great career in Florida, playing side by side with Joakim Noah. So I think Al Horford deserves a shout out. 17 years in the league and been
Get your ring,
consistently
Horford.
good basketball player for 17 years. So he's got some good help.
That's for Al Horford. Just for Al.
Quack, 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 quack.
For the rest of the Celtics.
You don't have the soundbite of them with the Kyrie Irving doll outside the arena.
I do not. I do
I'm
not have that.
glad
clip
you
for
don't, but I'm surprised you don't too.
Eric put
Do you
some
have like
new,
a little sheet that you
some new
memorized, or
things.
you just know?
No,
where
I
you-
gotta look on here. I'm learning. I'm learning.
Okay, I'm not because like you get to them pretty quick overall. I mean, the people watching might not think so because your head just completely goes out of the screen and just like fills in. It's like, all right, cool, that works too. But yeah, so all right.
Speaking of what else
I'm
works,
good.
and I'm
I'm
going to
good
keep
now.
it in the basketball realm real quick, but moving on, I do want to bring up, because I think we're going to have a differencing of opinions here based on our little pre-show meet and greet. Caitlin Clark, Angela Reese setting new records, TV records. Couple million people, 2+ million people watched their game
Most
the other
in
night.
23 years.
Most in 23 years.
Woo! Good
Obviously,
job,
they're
WNBA.
drawing
Get
more
it up
eyes.
There. Get it up there.
All of them are playing really well too. So I mean, Caitlin Clark now has 7 games where she's been over 20 points. She still, I think, is having a little bit of problem with turnovers, but correcting that as well. She's becoming a better star as the year goes on. Angela Reese playing really well as well.
Angela Reese is playing. She's got like 5 or 6 double doubles this year, right? If not even more. Right? She's playing really good ball,
Playing
and they're
very
not
good.
even close to the best players in this league.
Nope, not even
There are
close.
some really talented women in this league.
But speaking of those talented women, well, of these 2 talented women, I should say, that are setting these records and whatever, the one thing they also did do is, by the way, I saw this stat, and I'm going to give it to you in a minute after we talk about the foul that occurred. And it was a foul, I'll give you that, but I don't believe it should have been a flagrant one. Like, to me, she was going after the ball, not after her. I get that it looks bad, but every incident with Caitlin Clark is getting scrutinized with a magnifying glass right now, and I think because of past things is why she kind of got a little bit punished here. I don't see it as a flagrant one. It is what it is at this point. It is, but...
Yeah, but she hits Caitlin Clark. It's not like she's intentionally going to hit her, but you still hit the
She's
person.
not punching her, but
Yeah.
she still hits it. Literally, if you
That's
look
why it's not
up
a regular
the rule,
foul.
A flagrant one is contact to the unnecessary contact to the head, and literally it just means it wasn't intentional. It wasn't with malice or trying to hurt the person with the ball, but it's still a flagrant one. If that happened in the NBA, it's a flagrant one. It's literally the rule. I understand where you're coming from. Like, that doesn't really look horrible unless you watch it in this like slow-mo, like, let's make this look worse than it is. But she still hits her in the head, and if you're gonna hit somebody in the head, it's a flagrant one. There's just no other way for me to explain this to you, and I'm very sorry that you have to live in a world where that's the case. But you live in a world where that's the case.
But see, I think where we're differing is, I do believe she's making a play on the ball. Like, I don't think she hit her in the head unintentionally.
It's not about making a play on the ball. It is contact.
Yeah, it's
to
contact
the
with a
head
person.
without contact to the ball. If she hits the ball It's still a foul, but it's not a flagrant one. She completely whiffed on the ball and still caught.
I understand.
But there is like, I don't think you're wrong for sitting here and saying that should not be a flagrant one. I don't like that. That is a flagrant one. But according to the rules, it is a flagrant one.
Since when are you, Captain Literal Man? Since when are you the guy who's going to sit here and be like, we follow the rules, and the rules are the rules? Like, you don't. I've known you for a while, and you're not necessarily a guy that's always, we got to follow the rules.
No, I think there are stupid rules, but when it comes to the point of the rule, like, I hate that I can't argue with them, but they're there for a reason. But like when you see those bullshit roughing the passer penalties, like that to me is nonsense. But it's still, well, some of them I don't think even meet the letter of the rule, if we're being honest. But it's the same thing. There's nothing you can do about it. It's about offense. So she gets fouled in the act of shooting. She goes and scores, takes free throws. More people pay attention to her box score. Maybe people have her over or her under on how many points she scores, and she misses one of those free throws. Like, we know all the other reasons why offense is so important in sports in general. That's why every league you go back to, you go to the NBA in the 90s,
all offensive driven.
They averaged 90.
But I'm not saying it's not a foul. I'm not sitting here saying that she shouldn't have shot free throws and that she shouldn't have been. I just don't think it should have been a flagrant one. That's the hill I'm going to die on. But either way, they did happen to set a new record for attendance. People are still talking WNBA. We're still sitting here talking WNBA.
Like the third week in a row.
Yeah, man.
Maybe even longer if you go back to the NCAA tournament and all that.
Because the women's tournament was definitely better than the men's this year. So, yeah, I remember all those conversations. Yeah, we go WNBA. And you know the funny part is to me, more than anything else, it's the NBA that's actually the happiest about this.
Yeah.
They subsidize the league.
It. Yep.
So the profits that are coming right now, like the NBA takes them and then divvies them back out to the WNBA. But this is all going to have an impact in the positive world for the women that play now and the women that come after these women. Because there's going to be more money in the league. There's going to be more teams, so more women will get a chance to play. There's legitimately, outside of some of the stupidity you see on social media, there's really no negative that's coming out of all the talk with the WNBA. I mean, there's stupid people out there, but no, any press is good press. Roll with it, make your money, grow the league, make these women be able to make more money than.
Do you think it's all a ruse? You think we're all just like, it's all a marketing ploy, all the back and forth, all the talk, all the,
sure,
Kit and
like
Clark, Angel, and all that, not liking it. Yeah, and in the back, they're hanging out in the locker room.
But I'm sure the league is saying, hey, there's a lot of spotlight on you.
Amp it up
a little bit. Like you guys don't have to like each other.
I still wonder why people don't come to, why her own teammates still don't come to her defense, though. That still bothers me.
I think everybody.
That was a big thing for her at Indiana. She was people called her Iowa. Sorry, people called her a really good teammate, and I agree. That is something that's very weird. Even like when she goes down, like you barely see players on her team clapping. Like they're just kind of like. But I genuinely think the main thing is she's getting a lot of hate because she really has brought the most attention we've ever seen to the WNBA, and some of these women are taking it personally. Like, hey, I've been busting my ass for all these years. I've earned my spot. I've earned the right to be on TV. I've earned, whatever commercials and advertising I get to be in. Like, I've earned this stuff, and you're just walking in here because you were good in college. Like, I think this will die down.
And these girls were, like, just as good as her in college.
Yeah, they just didn't get the hype because they weren't shooting the basketball like their name was Steph Curry.
And they didn't live in the NIL era.
No.
To be honest.
I don't see how NIL really helps with people watching the girls play basketball, the girls being better at basketball, but...
I'm seeing commercials with these college girls. I'm not seeing commercials with WNBA stars, if I'm being honest.
I haven't seen either.
No worries. Like the Beats by, like the headphones. I see a lot of college commercials with that. But anyway, I think that's also why like Caitlin Clark isn't on the team. A lot of people are jealous of her and are just like, yo, you haven't earned your spot.
Which overall she really hasn't.
Nope.
So I mean, it's not something that I don't know. I think some of this stuff's been blown out of proportion. Sally Eric, it's the rule. I don't disagree with you though that it didn't look intentional in a way that it should warrant a flagrant foul. So I will agree with you on that. It's just.
Well, shout out to Tim in the chat who chimed in, and he says, Angel is jealous as hell about it. She's not a bad player, but I think she's a dirty player, and Clark just has the skills to outshine her. Clark has issues she needs to work on, but she's the player I'd rather have. What Tim said.
The way basketball is played nowadays, yeah, rather rebounds and some defense around the paint's great, but if I got a person that could shoot 40% from the
she's not. She's shooting like 32%.
But I'm just saying, like when she's hot, she can shoot over 50%, like and drop.
She can do a Steph, you know.
So I mean, the upside is worth the downside. And just like Joey just said, right? Like it's just like Steph Curry. He had nights where he'd go 2 for 18, but
that's the difference. Do you want a Steph Curry or do you want a Giannis?
You can't.
That's like what we're talking about.
Today's NBA, I want Steph. In their prime?
In today's WNBA, give me a Steph as well.
I think you guys are equating it a little bit more to the WNBA or to the NBA, the WNBA than I am. I think of the WNBA now at a point where like the NBA was at almost in like the late.
No,
90s.
I got you. So big,
like
the centers are the
some of the centers, some of the bigger guys, but it's also a little bit more of a physical game. To be honest, I think the women play more physical than the men do.
Oh, they do.
And I think that they make that a point because whatever it is, but like you could see it. There's a physicality to that game that reminds me of more of a 90s style NBA than a today's style NBA.
Yeah,
and granted,
especially 80s and 90s, yeah.
But again, Steph is a today's kind of player. I don't know if Steph would have been the same player in the 90s or the 80s. I don't know if he would have been the same player with like with the Bad Boys Pistons team putting him on his ass every 3 seconds. You know what I mean?
Well,
you're going to shoot a logo three. Well, guess what? You're going to shoot it from your backside.
Back in the 80s and 90s, that wasn't prevalent. That wasn't the 3-point game wasn't even a big thing. Steph made it into a big thing, and
Reggie Miller, I think, was the first I can remember.
If you want to say Reggie started it, that's fine. I also remember Tim Hardaway, Ray Allen,
people forget how long Ray Allen was actually in the NBA.
Oh, he was there a long time.
I think he put in 16, 18 years, something like that. When he was in Milwaukee,
Allen Houston, hell of a 3-point shooter too.
Yeah,
for the Knicks back in the day.
But Caitlin Clark grew up in this era, watching Steph Curry and all this 3 points. That's why I at least equivalent her to Steph, because she's putting up deep threes and whatnot, doing things that he would do.
All right. Look, overall, I don't think either team is going to be upset that they drafted them a month and a half, 2 months ago, however long it's been. I don't think either team is going to be upset about it.
And Caitlin Clark is the fastest player in WNBA history to 200 points, 75 rebounds, and 75 assists. She did in 15 games.
In 68 turnovers.
Yeah. But the other thing I wanted to point out is everybody points out how much she's getting beat up, right? Everybody makes it a point of contention that she is getting hammered every game, getting fouled. These women are coming after her. She's 5th in the league, as far as like there are 4 other women in the league that are fouled more than her. Yeah, not one word. I couldn't mention their names because I've never heard about them.
Those 4 aren't named Caitlin Clark.
But that's what I mean. So everybody complains about the fouls against Caitlin Clark. She's not even the most fouled player in the WNBA. I think people need to start getting off of that narrative.
Person fouled in the NBA. Yeah. That's a lot of respect, I feel like.
It is a lot of respect, but that's why I think people need to get off it too, because again, much as a sign of respect, and we all think she'll grow from it, learn from it, become a better player from it.
She's going to have to bulk up a little bit.
Exactly. She's going to have to get that physicality to her game. She's going to have to adapt a little bit in the same way that Jordan had to adapt, in the same way other people had to adapt to be able to overcome those things. If she's going to take that leap like a lot of us think she could and can, she's going to have to make those adjustments like those players did. And time will tell. But in the meantime, I'm sure they're going to set a whole bunch more TV records throughout the rest of the season.
Oh, their
believe it or
playoff
not,
ratings are going to be. I mean,
this will probably be the most WNBA you'll talk in your entire life.
The WNBA to me, like they may try to figure out a way to get Caitlin Clark into the playoffs and then get Angel
that ain't happening.
Chicago versus that. Like,
just make it a tournament. Everybody gets in.
Yeah, like just so that you can match them up for like a 5-game series. Because that's one thing they like. Think about that, right? Like, if they really do dislike each other throughout their entire lives, they've never played back-to-back games against each other. They've never had to play in a series against each other. So if you do dislike each other,
that comes out a little more in the series.
It gets a lot worse each and every single time you have to line up on the court with one of these guys, and push and fight and claw. So I genuinely love that.
Shout out to the 6 people watching us live right now.
Oh, word, yeah. Shout them out. I wish we knew all the names.
Well,
we'll throw them in the chat if
me
you're
and
there.
Eric are 2 and Timmy's 3, so it's 3 other people. So shout out to you, 3 other people.
Yeah, shout out. But another big thing going on that I want to talk about, make sure we talk about before it ends tonight, because again, I think it ends tonight, is the Stanley Cup Finals as well. Little fumble, Rooski, little Butterfingers.
That's where I wish you had the Michael Jordan one. Stop it. Get help.
Stop it. Get some help.
You mean that one? I know where that one's at.
Like, I know, but if you were able to perfectly time that with my phone dropping, that would have been some top-level producing right there.
We'll get there.
But anyway, talking about top-level producing, Edmonton did it in Game 4. An 8-1 victory.
But did it matter?
No, it don't matter at all. It's going to be a gentleman's sweep, like you said before. But to think, so they tied the NHL record for largest goal differential in an elimination game. But it's like, it was basically your last home game. So I will say, for those fans that were at that game, that is one hell of a good taste to leave your season with, even though your team's not going to win the Stanley Cup. Like, at least you went to the one game they won in the Stanley Cup and happened to also score 8 goals.
By the way, did you see the Oilers girl Kate, who got famous online for her cheering in the stands? Dave, tell me.
Oh, yeah.
So she apparently came out, though, and said that she is, not apologizing for a damn thing. She's happy she did it, and she'd do it again. Pretty much, I think, the sense I got from her video. So I'm going to applaud her. Yeah. I'm going to give her, because way to be you. Way to.
Like, what's she got to apologize for?
Nothing. She's doing nothing. Yeah.
She's going to make money off of it now anyway, too.
Regardless, I'm just saying, I'm glad she didn't come out and be like, oh, I'm bad. I'm glad she came out, just owned it, and good for her.
She was amped.
She deserves some, to be honest, at this point, with the publicity she's got, if I'm the Oilers, I'm throwing her tickets for next season.
Yeah, right. She's got against the glass too. Like you get to
anywhere, as long as we know what seat she's in, so the camera can pan over. But I mean, I'm just saying that's probably would be a nice thing. It's not going to happen, but and that's probably the best thing that's happened to the Oilers, in this entire finals here, because they got their consolation prize. They got their win in Game 4. They got their blowout. They were able to do it in front of the home fans and all that. But at the same time, the Panthers, man, they were just loading up. They were doing the gentleman's thing. Like, here, guys. Like, I honestly think they took their foot off the gas. They knew they were going home. They'd rather win it in front of the home crowd, be home for it.
Who doesn't, right? Like, that's the thing,
so
right?
I think they took their foot off the gas. Not that they wanted to. Not that anyone wants an 8-1 blowout. I'm not saying they completely gave up, but I'm just saying, like, the score may say that. But, I think tonight it's an absolutely opposite end here, and I expect the Panthers to win probably 4-1. Somewhere in that, maybe 5-2. I think it's going to be a pretty decisive win for the Panthers. I think they're going to want to put the stamp on this the same way the Oilers put the stamp on their last home game in Game 4. I think they're going to come out hungry, fired up, a little bit embarrassed from an 8-1 loss, and not want to go through that again.
If you were a coach, like, how happy are you that your team, like, if your team was going to lose, how happy are you that this is how they lost?
So you could just yell at them?
But not that you can yell at them, but that you can use this to paint a picture of, like, hey, guys, like, I understand we're up 3-1 now, But this team literally showed us that they can be 7 goals better than us any night. We can't take this, we have to take this seriously. We have to go into this game like we're the ones that are down 3-1. Because the way they smacked us around the other night, there's no reason that they shouldn't believe in themselves that they can turn this series around and take it from us. Like, as a coach, that's like, if your team's going to lose, right? Like, it's a lot better than if they lose, 2-1 in overtime. Like, all right, well, guys, we played a great game. They just got a lucky bounce, on to the next game, right? You don't have the same level of messaging. That's my assumption, right? But I think that a loss like that gives you the opportunity to really kind of paint that picture to your team and make them focus in on it. But I will say, the Oilers' best player, McDavid. So apparently the last game, he went into the game and he was wearing a Kobe Bryant t-shirt where Kobe's rocking an Edmonton Oilers jersey. And they dropped 8 points. Kobe's first number was 8. So ironically enough, he decided that that's what he was going to wear to tonight's game as well. Did they win?
No.
4-2? So that it looks, based off of how it's on your screen, it would like you get a little 2 like that 24 for Kobe, but they're the ones that would get the 4-2 win. Like, does the Kobe magic carry the Edmonton Oilers
maybe
to a game 6?
I'm saying this: Florida better win tonight because it's gonna go 7 if they don't. I'll say that they better close it out tonight, or it's going game 7.
That's a confident die on this hill moment right there. Brought to you by Joey D.
It is, and I can't argue with him. I think it's a do or die night. I think this is the game the Panthers got to get jacked up for. You can't let the momentum swing.
Don't let them get back in it.
You can't do it. And so I just look at it as, the Panthers need to put a whooping on them. But to touch on what you were talking about, as far as the Kobe connection. Yeah, they won 8-1. Yeah, it's a nice little coincidence. I don't think it's a connection though, because other than that, what would his connection be to the Oilers? Was he? I don't think he was really an Oilers fan.
Legitimate picture of him wearing an Oilers jersey. Like, it's not Photoshop.
But I mean, was he an Edmonton fan? Like, is that a thing? Because again, if it's a Gretzky thing, then everybody should rock that.
I don't know. We'd have to Google Kobe wearing Edmonton jersey and figure that out. And we're too close to a strong finish for any of us to be distracted by Googling Kobe and the Edmonton.
No, that would take us way too far off the rails. We don't need to go down. Either way, I think we're all in for the gentleman's sweep.
Yes.
No, I'm going opposite. I'm not dying on that hill. I think Edmonton's got a little spark. They're going to pull out.
Oh my God!
They're winning 3-1 today.
If they win 4-2, so that the numbers 2 and 4 are involved in the score.
It's a Kobe thing.
You're
flipping the script and you're going to Edmonton?
No, I'm going with Florida. I think gentleman's sweep tonight. There's too much.
I don't want to see a gentleman's sweep. We just saw one. That's what I'm calling on Edmonton.
Yeah, that loss, right? It is the best thing that could have happened in Carolina outside of getting the sweep.
Florida
outside of getting the sweep. I genuinely getting your ass whooped like that, having your goalie who's played lights out have to be benched. There's so many things to me that go into if the coach handles it the right way, which I believe he will. It just gives your team so much to go for. Edmonton is going to come out and try to swing a haymaker. Edmonton's going to come out as hard as they can. And as long as Florida toughs out that first 3 to 8 minutes, I think that as long as they can get out of that without giving up a goal, I think they're in a great place to bring this game, Stanley Cup to Florida.
And Timmy thinks Florida's going to win it tonight too. They take a late lead.
Timmy,
so he's saying close. I'm saying blowout. But either way, everybody other than Joey,
I just don't want to see another gentleman's sweep. We literally just saw it. Come on, Edmonton, making this a series.
All right. So
that's what I'm rooting for.
I will say I want Edmonton to win just simply so that it's not nothing but baseball until the Olympics start. So that just will get that out there. That statement should not
there's your saving grace with the Olympics.
That has listened to me do any of these podcasts in the history of me doing podcasts. But with that said, I believe, Eric, you did have some baseball thing or.
Oh yeah, I was
going
actually going to go to the golf thing first to touch on that.
Oh no, we'll break it up. Let you guys do the baseball thing. We'll finish on golf like a nice Sunday afternoon.
All right, so we'll finish gentlemanly.
Yeah, but like,
Okay.
but
baseball wise, the only thing I wanted to bring up is Cole.
Let's get a baseball drop.
Yeah. Wait, hang on. We got it.
Yeah.
We got it. Good call, Joey. And going to that, I mean, I was going to start with the Yankees, but every time I look at you, you're in that beautiful purple shirt with the Ghostbusters theme on it, which I'm going to an 80s theme party this weekend for a friend's 40th birthday, 80s theme murder mystery. Never done 80s theme, never done murder mystery, so it's going to be a lot of fun on Sunday afternoon. But either way, wearing the purple seems like the Jet or the Mets should be wearing purple. Should become the new color because, man, 6-0 since Grimace threw out the first pitch.
Seriously.
You know?
That's amazing.
The Mets are loving it.
Yes, they are loving it. Their fans are loving it. That was actually
Mike's
really funny.
probably loving it
great.
somewhere. I mean,
last week you called them dead. You said
they're still dead. But this is a fun little story.
And I don't think they are. The
Grimace
National League stinks this year. There's so many teams bundled up for the wild card spot. All you got to do is get hot. The Mets got hot at the right time because I think they're only like a game back now, they're almost at 500. I would think if you're a Met fan, you want them to get back to 500. They're only 3 games back. At one point, they were 11 games under 500.
8-2 in their last 10. So I mean, again, 6 in a row. So they're playing one of their best stretches of baseball right now, for sure.
Absolutely.
But I mean, going to the whole where I want to bring Dave in here because he was just talking about the Kobe connection and the number and the this and the that. And believing in those superstitions. Do you believe in the Grimace superstition, Dave?
The tinfoil hat king just called me out for believing in the superstitions. Man, I'm doing something wrong tonight.
But I'm saying, do you believe in the Grimace superstition? Do you believe that he has brought them the magic? That it is Grimace, it's Grimace time in the Big Apple. It is Grimace time. They're in, where do they play? Flushing? Queens?
Yeah, Flushing, Queens.
So, I mean, it's... He's the second, best Big Purple thing next to Barney, I guess. I don't know.
I really don't know.
I guess they couldn't afford Barney that night, so they brought in Grimace. Grimace has brought him the magic.
There's not a lot of Big Purple things I can think of that I've seen in my life.
That's funny.
Yeah, sure. Why the hell not? 6 in a row after the guy throws out the first pitch. That's got to
Do they hit 10 in a row? Can they hit 10 in a row?
They're going against Texas right now. They just whooped them like 14-2 yesterday or something like that. And 14-2 yesterday. On the hill is Michael Lorenzen, and I forget who's on the hill for the Mets, but I think it's Tyler McGill.
I literally don't know any of those names.
Okay.
So
but
that tells you how invested I am. But do they hit 10?
They got Texas, Chicago, and then the Yankees.
So before they would get to the
Cubs.
Yankees, so they got 2 more against Texas, and then 2 against Chicago would really get them to 10.
So 6. They have to win 4 more games on the road.
Yes.
In Texas,
805 games.
I mean,
So
that
even
does
still
help,
705
but I'm sure
then.
it's muggy as hell. You got those gnats flying around your head. That's got to be annoying as shit. No, I don't think they hit 10. They probably lose at least 1 to Texas.
Okay. All right. Have you now that we're out of baseball,
Severino
now that
tonight.
we're getting out of hockey, is there any part of you that will at least follow the Mets as far as just in the box score, just checking it as you're flipping through your phone
I
during
follow
the
them
day?
on social media. If I happen to not miss them while I'm scrolling, that's how I know what
All
happens.
right.
Like I knew they beat Texas 14-2, so I knew that. But yeah, no, I literally.
So you don't have that same enthusiasm that me and Jody, but I can't blame you because the Mets have never been good, so it's kind of hard for you to get that enthusiastic.
Have I told
happen
you
too
the
often.
reason I'm a Mets fan and not a Yankees fan? Because think about
Well,
where
because
we grew up,
everybody else was Yankee
Yeah,
fans, and you wanted
I
to be
also
different.
jumped on every bandwagon of the freaking 90s. Like, I had to not be a bandwagon fan of some team. Like I jumped on
You
the
picked the
Bulls,
wrong
the
one.
Cowboys.
You
like,
picked the wrong one.
The Devils, when they won the Cup, was that 95?
Yeah, 95.
95.
That's when I decided I was going to be a Devils fan. I mean, 94 when the Rangers won, I was a Rangers fan. Then the Devils won, I stuck with that, and I rode that. I've ridden that out for the rest of my life. Like, I did what most 6 to 10-year-old kids do. I was like, oh, they're really good. I like that guy on that team. I'm going to root for them.
Surprisingly enough, you didn't go with the Knicks though. I'm shocked.
Yeah, why would I like the Knicks when I got to watch the best player in the world?
Because of your dad. That's what I'm.
No,
thinking.
that was one of the best parts of being a Bulls fan.
Well, normally
me and Mom sitting there and arguing with Dad over Knicks Bulls games. That's some of my best childhood memories. I had so much fun, especially considering the Bulls always knocked them out. But that year when Jordan retired,
Dad finally got his fun.
But it was the Knicks that knocked him out the first first
94.
playoffs he was out. Yeah. And this look of exuberation that my father felt in that moment. And I looked down, I'm like, it's because they don't have Jordan. And he's like, yeah, I know. Like, he just
Papa 8
didn't matter.
Still went like 6 or 7 games, right? Like it was still a great series, but that's how I ended up a Mets fan. I was like, all right, you joined too many bandwagons, and everybody else is a Yankee fan.
Either way, though, but you're missing out because this Yankee team is fun. This Yankee team is still winning. This Yankee team looks good. And regardless of whether or not Soto is re-signing, they got to make the most of this year. They have their best chance to actually do something. They've been the best team in baseball without arguably one of the best 2 or 3 pitchers in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Who
does
they
he
now
come back tomorrow?
Yes, he does.
Tomorrow he comes back. The Yankees also did have their first big injury of the season, I would call it, with Rizzo going to be down at least 6 weeks, probably 6 to 8, with a fracture in his arm after a collision at first base against the Red Sox.
I saw no surgery needed. He's going to be out for like 8 weeks.
Yeah. So who knows? Yeah, but he wasn't exactly playing the greatest. So I don't know if we see him again.
Bring up the Rook. Bring him up.
He's coming up tonight. Rice, right?
Ben Rice.
So he's apparently hit really well. Double-A hit really. I don't know anything either because I haven't seen him either.
I'm like, that's definitely a name. I've heard of Rizzo, but I definitely never heard of Rice.
Well, you've heard of Jerry Rice, but it is a different race.
Well, obviously,
different race.
Talking about the Yankees bringing up somebody from their minor league, and
Jerry Rice.
Stop it.
Equivalent.
Get some help.
Stop it. Get some help.
All right, that's for you. But so they bring up this kid. He's hit well down low. They're hoping he hits when he gets to the big leagues too.
Hoping.
We're all hoping that because, to be honest, couldn't really be much worse than Rizzo. I think he was batting like 220, 230. Like, he wasn't having a banner season even for his standards. Listen, I like Rizzo. I love him as a locker room guy. I really like him as a first baseman. He's a pretty good hitter at times, but he hasn't shown that at all this year. He struggled a lot last year.
Yeah, man.
And
I think
it's time we start giving some of the kids a chance. Yeah. I want to see what they can do. We got a big enough payroll. And listen, if you're going to re-sign a guy like Soto, you need to be able to bring up guys like Rice to be able to fill positions. It's the only way you could balance things out. I'm hoping that this kid comes up and does really well. Otherwise, I think at the deadline, you're going to see the Yankees make some kind of move. Now, I don't know if they're going to try to maybe kick the tires on Abreu, who got released from Houston. So they would only have to pay him like league minimum $700,000 or something like that. Like, he wouldn't be owed a lot of money. So that could be intriguing as a stopgap, but I don't love it. I like the fact that they're taking the option to bring this kid up. I like the fact they're taking the option to bring this kid up. I really do. I'm hoping he plays well. It'll be his first game tonight, so we'll see how that changes the lineup. But again, kind of need a third baseman too, but we're getting to that. This team has still been a lot of fun to watch, and especially when when Soto and Judge and Volpe and like they're to see Volpe's progression from from last year to this year has been big too.
It's been huge. Well, he's also hitting behind one of the best hitters in baseball, so that's huge too.
He was hitting behind Judge too when they were bringing him up in the lineup. But again, it was his rookie year, and I think last year was a lot of adjustment. I think he went back to the drawing board, kind of figured some things out, and he's had a tremendous start to this year. So I just hope they keep this going. Only time will tell, but I love the fact we're getting Cole back. How do you feel?
I feel great. Feel great about Cole. I was one of the few people at the beginning of the year to tell everybody to calm down, that I trust Cashman, I do for some reason. That we would figure this out, and they've had the best ERA in baseball to start the year. But unfortunately, this last couple weeks, it seems as though teams have poked holes into this Yankee team. They just lost this weekend to the Red Sox, and the Red Sox set a major league record by stealing 9 bases on them.
Jesus.
9 freaking bases, and they did it before the 9th inning too. So
It was bad.
it's absolutely insane.
It's a hole.
I did not realize how incredibly atrocious Trevino is as a defensive catcher.
He's good behind the plate. He can frame things. He can.
He's good with the staff. He's good with the staff itself.
He doesn't have a cannon.
His defensive presence is terrible.
He's got a pistol. He doesn't have a cannon.
No, he's 100% right. No, he does. They were saying when he's throwing the ball out to second base, it's only going 70 miles an hour, 71 miles an hour. That's not even good in high school, they're saying.
Judge, by the way, he almost threw out a guy at home the other day. 96 miles an hour he threw from center to home.
Damn.
So, I mean, you think about it, like, if he's throwing 96 from the outfield, why can't your catcher get it at least above 70 to get it to that? Yeah, but
So, I mean, you got that.
Exactly.
So, they have an issue with catcher. They definitely figured out that the Yankees have holes. The bullpen's starting to show some cracks. But that's okay. I trust Cashman's going to do some trades as the deadline's coming up in the next, 6 weeks. So, yeah, I think he's going to go out there, get some proven bullpen arms. This kid Rice, from what I understand, too, he can play catcher.
Yeah.
So I wonder if maybe Trevino continues his troubles, if maybe they move Rice to catcher, and maybe, I don't know if they would put Dominguez at first, try and do something to get him stay in the minors to play first base, to try and figure that out. Or maybe they move Judge. I know they did that in spring training. They put Judge at first to figure it out, because I think Rizzo's going to be gone for a while, and he may not come back. He's been really bad since his concussion last year, and who knows if he's ever going to be the same guy. So they have to figure out a way to get all these good bats into the lineup, and it kind of sucks doing it on the fly in the middle of the season, but in order to get all these bats in, you might have to move Judge to first, or Soto to first, or Verdugo, somebody.
Yeah, I agree. You're going to have to make some kind of change or adjustment, and we're going to see where that comes, but as of right now, they're still number 1 in the league. Got a tough series against number 1.
Yeah, number 1, baby.
Overall. Got a tough series though against the Orioles.
This is it, Orioles.
I almost said Oilers because I couldn't. Either way, Orioles.
I digress.
Exactly. 2.5. I think they're up 2.5 games on the Orioles right now. Game and a half. So I mean, they're
close.
A
big series in
June.
Big
series against 2 of the best teams in baseball. Orioles are looking like they're kind of AL East rival for the year this year, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
They're going to be the AL East rival for the next few years.
And they got a damn good young team.
Gunnar Henderson is damn good.
They're going to be good until they have to pay all these guys. They're going to be good until they have to pay them, and then they're all going to go elsewhere.
They had the Machado issue. So
exactly.
Baltimore's windows the next 3-4 years. These guys are they are really freaking good, and they are deep. They have great prospects as well. So this is going to be an interesting AL East fight.
It is going to be an interesting AL East fight.
A 3-year window is a nice window to have in baseball.
But speaking of a fight, I want to take us to one more quick thing.
Knuckleheaded news of the
it could be knuckleheaded news.
Speaking of the fight, and the transition.
Double entendre.
That's what I was saying. Bare knuckles.
Exactly.
You, sir. That's why you get to control the board.
Exactly. But talking Jake Paul real quick, I just wanted to bring it up with you guys. We don't got to spend a lot of time on it, but choosing to fight some bare knuckle fighter, I don't even know what his name is, to be honest with you. It doesn't really matter. I think Perry or something. They're fighting. It's going to be an 8-round boxing match, so it's not going to really matter. But the fact that he's taking it up in place of the
Mike Tyson?
Yeah, training that he had been doing leading up to July 20th. Apparently, he says he doesn't want to waste that training. He wanted to get something in. So, to me, I just think it's a way that maybe he gets injured. I think it's something that could, because to be honest, the mega fight is in November. The mega fight is him and Tyson. The mega fight that's what's going to bring in the bills. That's what's going to what's going to buy his next mansion and cars and everything else. They're going to make.
I'll say
coverage-wise, it's going to be everywhere. So why would you risk that fighting a nobody that doesn't matter?
I hope Tyson lands a haymaker.
Everybody does. I'm hoping somebody knocks this clown out. But until then, I got to make sure he at least gets there.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, look, I don't know about the rules to boxing, but I am sure that medical doctors and other people have told them, like, this is not a smart idea if you're going to fight again in November. I believe the way they usually do it with boxers is a bare minimum of 8 to 10 months between fights. Most doctors recommend at least a year to avoid, major concussions and brain issues that can come from it. So I don't think it's the smartest move, but I mean, maybe I don't know. It's not like the guy's broke, so he doesn't need the money. I don't think it's a smart move. I think it is knuckleheaded news, and I think he'd be better off spending more time training because I saw some of those videos of Tyson's training.
Yeah, for rounds, you find out.
I mean, this is that like that. The little diagram you've been seeing people put up. And yeah, I think he's falling right at the apex of that one. So, yeah, I don't think it's the smartest move. And hey, if he's gonna do it, maybe it helps Tyson knock him out a little faster, and I can just enjoy watching the numerous replays in slow mo of Tyson's right hook haymaker just coming across his chin and just enjoying that. Because, I mean, I do think the guy's a clown, but I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't say it to his face. He'd be able to whoop my ass. I mean, I'm not stupid.
Tyson's a different beast. He don't want to fight you. He wants to fight Tyson. Yeah. That's the difference. Is he wants to poke the bear.
Yeah.
I don't know why you want to do that.
No. I just hope Tyson's okay, man. That little hospital scare definitely had people nervous.
Ulcers or something, right?
Yeah. It's
so
something
that's
the right meds can be. That'll be fine, but yeah.
Exactly. So.
Joe, you got anything for this one?
It's just, I know you said that normal boxers take 8 months to a year to get another fight.
I believe
for
so.
For the body, for the brain,
everything,
heal up. These aren't real fights. These aren't real sanctioned boxing matches. There's rules.
I mean, the Tyson one with
it's not
is sanctioned by the Federation of Boxing.
But there's different rules for it. It's not like a real boxing match, even though it is a boxing match. But
but hold on, is it Mike Tyson?
The gloves and everything.
Is it Mike Tyson's fist being so? Because there's a difference. Like I think there's like even in a pretend setting, even if you tell me that this thing is a bit staged, you can't sell it without him taking at least 1 or 2 good shots from Tyson. Like,
I'm not worried about Tyson.
I think, but that's what I'm saying is like, is his chin gonna hold up to a Tyson punch? That's what everybody wants to see. Everybody wants to see
60. I don't think it's gonna. I don't think that's gonna be much of a fight.
Dave just said about Jake Paul. I'm saying it about Tyson. Tyson will whoop my ass right now.
Of
I don't care if he's 60 or anything else.
You know how out of shape we are, bro. One punch from Tyson, we're knocked out. We're not in our mid-20s in the best shape of our lives. Been training for a year to fight Tyson.
I'm an Adonis.
Oh, yeah, baby. Look at this Adonis. 6-pack of donuts. I was going to say beer, but I really don't drink. But, dude, I'm not really worried about this. Because if his team was really concerned, like, yo, bro, you're in this bare-knuckle fight now with this guy. I apologize that I don't know his name.
Nobody does.
So I apologize about that.
His name is insignificant.
But his team is definitely saying, hey, you'll be okay for the next match because I don't think he's going to get his ass whooped by this guy or anything like that. I really don't.
All it takes one punch.
No, you're not wrong about that. You're not wrong. One punch ruins your... You're right. You could be concussed and all of a sudden one punch, you're a completely different person. But... I don't think that's going to happen because the money is on the Tyson fight. This is just going to be maybe a glorified sprawl.
It's just a risk. That it's an unnecessary risk is what it is.
And just to be very clear here, I have no concern for Jake Paul.
Okay.
Yeah, zero.
Like I just feel like I don't wish anything bad on the man.
No, never.
Not that I want something to happen to him.
No.
But I do not spend a single moment of my life. Like, after this conversation, I will not think about Jake Paul again.
Until the fight's coming up, right?
Until the fight. Well, probably after the fight when there's replays of it, and then I'll be done with that too.
Well, I'm saying the Tyson fight,
I
you
thought
might
meant-
actually
I thought you meant this fight.
You probably won't even care about this.
No.
We'll catch the highlights. It's not
It'll
gonna
end up
matter.
on my Twitter, whatever feed, one of those.
Exactly.
Twitter,
You'll
X.
catch the highlight, and then we'll worry about. To be honest, I think I might want to have a little shindig for the Tyson fight.
In November?
Yeah, why not? Because I think it'd be fun.
I would
think it's fun.
100% do something for that fight.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
I 100%. I wouldn't care if we put it on 3 seconds into the first round. Tyson, boom, he's knocked out. I'll spend the rest of the time that
I
I
would
spent
love
watching
that.
the
That's
fight
not gonna happen, though. I would
celebrating.
love
Be like,
it.
all right, what time would the fight end? Midnight? All right, then I'm celebrating until midnight and I'm going home.
Exactly.
That'd be dope, bro.
Yeah.
You guys need to rock.
Speaking of
Rocky
going home,
Balboa.
though, that's going to bring us to our last topic of the day. And that's Rory McIlroy, who pretty much just said, you know what? I birdied 16, I birdied 18. I watched this other guy come in, he wins. He just turned around and went home. He just turned around and said, I'm out.
That's a rough
no
pill to
handshake. No,
swallow.
it's
I mean,
rough,
you
but he
still-
did
no,
it
you
to
still-
himself.
No, and you still shake hands. That's one of my favorite parts about sports. It teaches you how to learn how to accept winning and losing.
He did it to himself, and I don't feel bad about it. He came out I think it was today or yesterday with an apology, but it was like one of those online like notes apologies people write, and then they post it online where he congratulated DeChambeau, and he said some nice things and whatever. But at the end of it, also said that he was not going to make some upcoming tour appearances and things, and he was going to take a little time. Stop being a baby. You blew it. It happens. It's life. You
That
get back
needs to
on
be
the
a
horse
button.
and you try again.
That needs to be a freaking button. Stop being a baby. Like, that needs to be a button. I'm sorry, but that one, like, how great would that have been when Mahomes was like crying on the sideline?
Yeah, stop it.
And when they lost the one, like, when they
Josh
called back
Allen?
the touchdown, they got the crazy touchdown to win the
Oh,
game.
the Travis Kelce pitch.
Yeah, like when they call that back and he's over there crying, I'm like, that would have been stop being a baby. Sorry, not to take you off that, but the way you dropped that was just great.
No,
I
but
loved
it's
it.
just the truth. Tell me if I'm wrong, but like you like, granted, I'm not saying you should have went out there and been cheering for DeChambeau. Have your feels, get in them, but still do the right thing. It's sportsmanship. And I mean, I think we were all raised a little bit better than that. I mean, and if you weren't and you were that guy, then people remember you as being that guy. And you remember you being the spoiled brat on
Especially
the
if that's
field
the
who
last thing
kicked
you
dirt
do.
and ran off the field instead of shaking hands. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't do that. Like, it's just not, it's not the right way to go about it. And to me, it sours me on Rory a little bit because, dude, nobody stopped you from blowing it. You blew it. You blew it on 16. You blew it on 18. You did it to yourself. So I can only feel so bad for the guy, and to me, to have that opinion, to have that attitude, it shouldn't be about that. And I love the way that DeChambeau has actually acted since then. I know there's been a lot of controversy around him and other things going on, but to watch him afterwards with the trophy, and then somebody reenacted like one of his shots that he made, like an incredible shot out of the bunker that he made, and like there's some of the other fun moments where I don't know if you saw it at night, like in his neighborhood, he was driving glow in the dark balls, and stuff, and like having fun. He's like, I don't know how I'm gonna swing this thing drunk, and like just having fun and doing fun things. And you know what? I like seeing that. I want to see more fun in golf. I want to see more Happy Gilmores. I want to see more enjoyment in golf, and I want to
Coming
see
to Netflix
less
soon.
babies being taking my ball and clubs and going home. You know what I mean? Like, screw that. So the only thing I got to say about DeChambeau, that if I'm him, I'm a little bit pissed I didn't make the Olympic team. You come in first in the U.S. Open. You come in second, I think, in the PGA Tour Championship, or the other one, or I don't know,
The Masters.
and the Masters. Like, in the last three majors, I could be wrong about the PGA. It could have been British Open, whatever it was. Last three Masters, he won it, came in second, and he came in sixth. been top 6 in the last 3, top 2 in the last 2, and won this last one. Won the U.S. Open, and that doesn't even buy him a tick on the U.S. Olympic team. Instead, they go by these stupid world golf rankings. And apparently because there was 4 Americans already ahead of him in the world golf rankings because he plays on the Live Tour, and the world golf rankings don't count the Live Tour events, so he doesn't get any points for those. And because of that, it knocked him out. The U.S. is now missing one of their best players in the world. So even if he's not upset about it, I'm upset about it because I want gold medals, damn it. And I mean, we could send Morikawa and we could send some of these other guys, but there's one guy on the team where, like, really, he's shot like shit in the last couple tournaments. Like, he really hasn't done well. He did better in 2023 than he did 2024, but because of the way the rankings go, he still is holding on to some of that shit because of last year of the things he did. So, I mean, he's not even... Blows my mind. One of the top couple golfers in the world, and we turn him down because he played on the Live Tour. Like, get the out of here.
Tell us how you really feel.
That's pretty funny, bro. That's pretty funny.
I'll give you that. Yeah,
the one thing I don't care about is Rory saying he's going to take some time off. He and his wife are going through some issues, and now it looks like they're back together. So maybe they're taking some family time to, make sure the marriage is better. Maybe that was part of this agreement of getting back together. Of hey, you need more family time, not more golf time. So I got no issues with Rory doing that, but you're 100% right about sportsmanship. At least, bro, just because you blew it on the 16th and 18th, you're probably pissed off at yourself or whatever, but you blew it. You should at least go congratulate the guy and not look like an idiot. But, yeah, man. And as far as DeChambeau on the Olympics, could care less. I really could.
What if not having him cost us the Olympic gold? Or,
Dude, are you on the Olympic
medal?
Are you like on the Olympic committee or something? Why do you care so much? I could care less.
You will literally never know if it would have cost you.
Who
even if you got selected.
I care more about the Olympics than you would believe because I'm America. America. I want all the medals. Give us all the medals. Everything we're in, we should be medaling in.
Any which way,
Eric's like, I want
to win. I want to dominate.
Gold, silver, bronze. I want to win gold, silver, bronze, and
I want to win everything.
Yeah, I got to side with Joey on the whole Team USA thing. I mean, they're not just putting out scrubs. I mean, yes, he's had a great year, but they're not putting out scrubs. The Rory thing, again, I agree with both of you. You've got to play with sportsmanship. You have to accept winning and losing because that is literally how it just works. Like there's no way around it, so own it. And be the man that you're supposed to be to represent yourself. And I think it is disappointing for him, DeChambeau, but I don't think it's the end of the world for him, and I don't think he'll, lose much sleep over it either. But Rory definitely had to handle that better, and that's on him.
Well, I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
So we could die on that hill to end the show here that Rory, you need to do better, bud. And you're better than that. Be better than that.
Fetch is more entertaining than hearing us talk about this, according to Louis.
Exactly.
He's like,
our unofficial fourth host telling us it's time to wrap up.
He's like, yeah, I want
And with
play.
that said,
I want to walk.
Joey, why don't you tell the people where we can find you?
I am on Instagram at Joey Doth 47, Doth for Die on This Hill. And I'm actually thinking about expanding to Twitter or TikTok.
Or both.
I'm thinking of that just because I feel like we'd get more audience.
We would, and especially throw up some clips maybe on the
Bro, I couldn't even figure out how to put the share
I would send you the clips. I would cut the clip and send it to you to put on TikTok.
There he is. Get on that screen.
We will talk about this.
I wouldn't make you make the TikTok. I would send you the video and be like, "Hey Joe, you want to post this?"
So stay tuned. We might come out with a TikTok, Twitter.
That'd be fun. So, Dave.
At David Hastings 23 on Twitter, and then what am I? D Hastings 23 on Instagram. I really never can remember that.
Do you know Louis on Instagram?
I do know Louis on Instagram, but I can't remember what his handle is.
Louis Aussie dude.
There you go.
you wanna follow him.
Or X, God.
Well, no, he's on Instagram.
Oh, he's on
I'm
the
on
Insta.
X at
You're
The Living
on-
Legend.
Ah, right.
And again, like we said in the beginning of the show, we're going to say here at the end, you know, if you happen to like anything that you heard today, if you want to support us, you don't got to give us any money. You don't got to do anything. Just like, subscribe, share, follow. Do all the free things.
Do all the free.
Shout out to Mike.
Help us.
Do all those things because they will help us. They'll help us grow this channel and this podcast, and that's what we're looking to do. So thank you guys as always.
No,
Follow
thank you.
us at Die on This Hill on YouTube. And until next time, don't be afraid to have an opinion. And die on this hill with us.
Let him know, Louie. Let him know.